Okay, I picked up an ACASIS Enclosure capable of 80 gigabytes per second. Okay, I decided to upgrade my storage. Now that I have basically moved everything from the internal drive to an external storage and to do any editing, stuff like that, I figured it's time to get a faster storage. Unfortunately, the other ones that I've been using, they're great for like time machine backup, storage, carbon copy tools. But for everyday use, it wouldn't be practical. And of course, there is one advantage which I never mentioned on here in one of my videos, why you should go to 1 terabyte, not accept the 512. There is a big speed difference because it has a larger cache. In fact, the cache is probably one of the big factors that give this extreme speed with large files, and before it starts to drop off in speed. So I got this Thunderbolt 5. It's compatible all the way to USB 3.2. It has a fan which is thermally controlled, but you can also manually turn it on and off in case you're doing some sort of recording and don't want the fan noise. From what I hear from others, it appears the fan is very quiet, so it's not really an issue. And I'm also going to talk about memory. The 990 Pro, there's a few other brands that might be better, I'm not sure. Again, the Pro uses kind of a different type of memory. It in fact increases in cache, and also you have a larger cache every time you go from 1 terabyte to 2 terabyte and to 4 terabytes. So it doubles each terabyte. So that will make a difference on your throughput speed. So keep that in mind. I'm going to go into more details, but let me just show how this looks like. It slides out. Okay. It comes out. And let me put this down for a minute. Yeah. They have the vents, which I believe the non-Pro. This is the Pro version. They have the, I think it's 501, they call it. Let me see if there's a number here. I know there's a 501 and a 501 Pro. With the Pro, you get the fan and you get the vents, which didn't exist on the other one. So like heat is important. Here's a button for turning off the fan manually, but it's thermally controlled. And there's the Thunderbolt 5 connection. It's heavy metal. I guess those little grooves can act like heat sink too. It has a good feel. And this is where you open. Oh, okay. There you go. You would shove the card in there. There's a little rubber adjustment so you can put in if you're using short cards. And then it will come with, what else would it come with? Okay. It says Thunderbolt 5, but I will test it against an Apple one to see if there's any difference. Okay, these are for different SD card sizes. If you're using short ones, you can fill in the gaps so it stays in place. And this is probably the most important thing right there. Okay. I'll need to use one of these with the card I'm going to put in because it's a full size. These are the thermal pads. I believe it has a strip protecting. You got to strip off. You put one on the SD card itself, and perhaps even one on here. The key thing is you don't want an air gap in between. So it feels like there's more than one in here. I know the earlier models, they were just giving out, I think, half a mil and 1 mil. And basically you need about 2 mils, maybe 2.5. So I'll have to check that. So it's important you use these. It will reduce the heat a lot. It will transfer it over to this. It's like a heat sink. So it needs to be thick enough so that it's pressing a little bit against this RAM chip and against the heat sink. So that's the key thing to remember. And I'll go into more details later, but I think the important thing is the larger your SSD card, or the NEV, what do you call it? NVMe, yeah. The larger storage you have, which would mean when you're copying over very, very large files or streaming, when doing some editing, the speed won't drop off. If you don't have enough cache, it will drop off. And so 1 terabyte, you go to 2 terabytes, you're going to have twice the capacity. And then you double that again when you go to 4 terabytes. So that's something you want to take into consideration if the speed is important for you. And it's possible to get speeds quicker than your MacBook Pro M4 Pro SSD card or memory storage. So things to watch out for. Do a very simple test. And what I'm going to do first of all is select a target. Choose. Let's choose the internal first. 6250. Okay, and then let's select ACASIS. I believe that's how you pronounce it. 62 versus 50. Okay. I have in there the 1 terabyte Samsung. I think it's 980 Pro. I have a 2 terabyte coming in, and I can see what difference that makes. Okay, so that's simply straight. Just a little bit slower, not by much. Okay, let's launch another program. And Black Magic. Okay, let's select a target and do a speed test. I'm gonna let her run for a while. I'm in a workshop here right now, so that might be a little bit of noise. Cats nearby might be purring away, but I think it should be low in the background. Okay, give us an idea. 62 right and about 50 right. Okay, let's select cases. 63, 57. Okay, so with this speed utility, it's faster than my internal speed. It's because it's writing different formats and files. Okay, that's basically it. And there are a few things you can do, of course, to speed that up. I'm going to verify the quality of the Thunderbolt 5 cable that came in with an Apple later on to see if the quality is the same. I'll probably get a 3-meter one or something of that sort. And also some different memory modules and see if a cache, how much of a difference it makes. I'm happy with that. And I have the fan running. I can't hear it. I put it on manually. My understanding is if you turn it off and it does get warm, it will automatically cut in. Definitely not something I can hear. Okay, that's great. Let's put a stop. Yes, when you're pushing really fast speeds and you optimize your system here, keep in mind temperature is important. In fact, the unit itself, the enclosure, don't put it upside down. Don't cover up the fan. I know changes have been occurring. There's been updates, firmware, stuff like that. So some information may be old. You have to verify how current it is. It is my understanding that the unit I have does have its own temperature monitoring capabilities. And the safe temperature range will vary, but somewhere between 30 degrees Celsius and 50 degrees Celsius, which is 86 Fahrenheit to 122 Fahrenheit. I do have a temperature gun which I can take a reading when I do some heavy pushing on it. It says temperature above 70 Celsius would void your warranty. And so in our case, we don't have to worry. Fan comes with it. Keep the enclosure, fan in its right position. Don't stuff it underneath the pillow or in your pocket while you're running. Something of that sort. So I thought I'd throw that information. And that terminal pad becomes very important. From what I've seen, having an air gap between the two pads raises the temperature extremely high. Once you have it snug, surprisingly how well it transfers the heat. Okay, I decided to take a look and see what the cache difference is between the Samsung 980 Pro and the 970 EVO Plus. And I know it originally used a different caching mechanism, some sort of RAM, but now they're using single level cell. The 980 uses a dynamic SSD cache, while the 970 EVO Plus has a fixed SLC cache size. I think that's an update because last time I looked at the EVO Plus, it didn't have an SLC cache, but you want to verify what you have. Okay. Now, the size apparently on the 980 Pro cache is supposed to be larger than advertised. Not sure about that. And I guess it's constantly changing, so you need to keep up to date with it. The 1 terabyte model has 114 gigabytes, and then if you go to a 2 terabyte, it'll be over 200, and then to the 4, it'll be like over 400. And the write speed with the cache can reach up to 5 gigabytes, so that is very helpful. However, when the cache is full, and this would happen when you're downloading 500 gigabytes or more, the speed will drop down to 1.5 before it increases again. It's a little bit different with the Samsung 970. It has a fixed cache, 173 gigabytes, so it's a little bit bigger for 1 terabyte, and I'm assuming it'll double depending on the size that you get. However, it has, after the cache is full, it has a better write speed than the 980 Pro. It doesn't say what it is. I'm assuming it's better than 1.5. Maybe it's 2 or 3, but that's something to keep in mind. So these are some of the factors that you probably want to check before you decide which way or which chip you're going to get. I have some people argue that Western Digital, the black, will work better than the 980. I don't know. I haven't tried one. If you have, let me know. If you had a chance to compare, and post your comments on it. It would be appreciated. If you haven't done so, it would be appreciated. Please subscribe. And thank you for watching. Have a nice day.